All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. Let's see, I already wrapped up some pretty important news to us. Now, obviously, just wrap up the rest of the league. So, some pretty big news kind of since from yesterday to this morning. So, Christian, let's just get all these started.
Yeah, so start off with right off the bat. So Kendall Fuller, he is signing with the Miami Dolphins for 2 years, $16.5 million. Honestly, I guess I can say I'm a fan of this move. I mean, the Dolphins, they do need secondary help. I mean, realistic report, they released Xavier Howard not that long ago, and we pretty much knew this 2 weeks ago that he was going to be released. So obviously, this is adding more development to the secondary position, since this is exactly what the Dolphins need on defense.
Yeah, I mean, we see, the Jordan Poyer signing. They're really, they're trying to bolster up that secondary. I like this move. I mean, it's something you were saying. He was, I guess, a bright spot for the Commanders' defense, and I mean, I honestly, I think it was pretty good for them. It's, keeping it on defense. Really, really nice for me to see. The Niners getting a lot of players poached away. The Jacksonville Jaguars are taking Eric Armstead. I mean, sure, he was released, so say that for what you will, but I mean, it was a cap casualty, which very unfortunate for them. But I mean, Eric Armstead still, I mean, for what's all pro worthy talent, and I mean. I think, a big part of that collapse for the Jaguars last season was, that defense. And you sure, say what you want about Trevor's play, but Eric Armstead is definitely going to be a phenomenal add to this Jaguars defense.
Yeah, it's obviously a big loss to the Niners of him getting released by them, since he was a big bright spot. Him paired up with Nick Bosa and Chase Young in that D-line core. But like you said, with the big impact that the Jacksonville Jaguars had to go through that season with the huge decline, and Eric Armstead, he's really going to make a huge improvement. And we've been talking about anchors. He's probably going to be the anchor to hopefully be the mentorship for all the young guys.
Actually, if you really think about him and Josh Allen, that's
yeah.
Gonna be
that's what I'm saying. Him developing Josh Allen even better. Forget about it. It could be a return to Saxonville. Who knows? And then moving on to another big signing. I guess you could say big signing. Devin Bush, once again, hopping in the same division. He's signing a 1-year deal with the Browns. So the Browns, not too much to say about that, but they're really boosting up that defense as well to keep it atop in the league here. So Devin Bush, I mean, sure, yeah, he's had his tenure with the Steelers for quite some time now, so he's got some time to develop there. So hopefully he makes a big impact to that linebacker core of the Cleveland Browns, since the linebackers is kind of one spot they need some tweaking to do.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, the Browns are really making some good moves. Obviously, they retained Zadarius Smith. The rest of them don't really come to mind, but they're making smart moves on that defensive end, and it's really it's great for them to start to try to keep that top, at least a top 5 defense that they did have last season. So I mean, obviously someone that's gonna have a lot of intel on the Steelers. So we'll see how much they can improve on this year. And keeping it someone that moved away from the NFC North and the AFC North in Joe Mixon. Obviously, we already kind of covered this trade, but the Houston Texans are giving him a nice 3-year, $27 million extension, $13 million of that guaranteed. So I mean, obviously, something you mentioned before, CJ Stroud, definitely keeping him happy, giving him some weapons, and obviously, as much as we know, as whenever he can get that run game going, we know. Joe Mixon's pretty sneaky on the receiving end too, so I think it's going to be a pretty good, I guess at least a check down option for CJ.
Yeah, obviously, I talked about it already. I mean, I really like the signing for the Texans for Joe Mixon. Obviously, it would have been better if obviously Jerry picked them up to make the running backs a little heavy. But obviously,
$27 million for 3 years.
Yeah, and I knew Jerry was probably not going to offer that, but this is honestly a pretty decent deal. The front office does understand Joe Mixon could come to a conclusion. So obviously, him and CJ Stroud, he's still going to keep a good quarterback under center for Joe Mixon here. So he's always going to make a huge impact in the run game, and like you said, even in the receiving game. And then just to throw in there, I mean, Packers are re-signing AJ Dillon. Didn't get all the details on the deal. I'm going to assume it's probably a 1 year. So he's most likely going to be backing up.
I think it's a 1 year.
Yeah, so he's probably still going to remain as a backup, as a second option for Josh Jacobs, since it's pretty obvious Josh Jacobs, he is going to get the start there. So obviously keeping that powerhouse, that power back of AJ Dillon there, the quad father, you could that's what a lot of people call him for that. So obviously, once again, keeping your another bulky back at that backfield is going to be a really huge impact to, once again, that Packers team and Jordan Love.
Yeah, you're basically keeping what you had with Aaron Jones, now just basically replacing him with Josh Jacobs. Yeah. Something what you always talk about, Zeke being that power back for Tony Pollard a couple years ago. Now that's basically exactly what you get with AJ Dillon, which for what it's worth, maybe something the Cowboys could have done. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but Back on the defensive side of the ball, Christian, this is something that we actually just talked about. I think it was yesterday, outside, in right before class. We ran into someone, a Raider fan,
Yeah.
hoping this move would go to
Yeah.
them. Devin White is going to the Philadelphia Eagles in your division, Christian. Now, obviously, a really standout defensive player for the Buccaneers, and in all these years past, obviously a really huge part in that Super Bowl winning roster. And you know, Philly keeps bolstering up. I think they're taking you calling their defensive fall off a little personal, and they're really getting strong. So let's see what they can do next season, man.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Philly's really going deep into this defensive side position, not only on the offense to give Jalen Hurts more weapons, but they're really bolstering up this defense without a doubt after last year's, horrible performance that which I call. So I'll take pride into that take that I really love. But obviously, going to have to eat my words this upcoming season, since this defense is really getting better by the minute, and who knows, they'll just keep signing more and more players. Whatever Howie Roseman is doing, he's doing it right. Let's get out the way. And probably moving into one of the bigger signings here, Mahomes got himself another weapon. Yeah, Mahomes got himself another weapon on the receiving end. Marquise Brown with a 1 year, I think it was $11 million deal. So obviously Marquise Brown, he's gonna get, I guess a better, just a better quarterback to throw the ball to, and that's the thing that the Chiefs really need help with, was the receiving end. Sure, they won the Super Bowl, so does that really matter? I mean, sure, it kind of does matter coming into the next season with all the drop passes, but that's kind of one thing I was thinking to myself. Rashee Rice and Marquise Brown, that's a deadly duo. I mean, Marquise, they're both speedy, they both got decent hands. I mean, that could really be a huge impact to Patrick Mahomes in the past game if Travis Kelce's not, obviously being the main guy for him.
Yeah, with Travis Kelce, getting up there in age, we'll see how effective he's going to be next year. And I mean, not the biggest deal, but they did get rid of Marquez Valdez-Scantling, so that's one of the targets who was doing better at the end of the season. They lose him now. Marquise Brown's gonna, to me, a step up from Valdez-Scantling, so a pretty smart move for the Chiefs. And we see Kyler Murray, throwing the joke of the train, you're dead to me. And I mean, I like the move for KC, and I think this one basically being, the blockbuster move of the day, looking at Keenan Allen, the Chargers. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I guess the main thing was, he didn't want to restructure, but, Keenan Allen going to the Chicago Bears. And now for the Chargers, who's wide receiver? Oh man, Quentin Johnson, guy who can't catch a ball to save his life. So I think we're probably expecting them to go receiver now. We were probably thinking, Brock Bowers still, I guess, could be in play, but I'm expecting either Malik Neighbors or Romo Dunze now that they got no one to catch the ball.
Yeah, honestly, like you said, I don't know what the Chargers are doing. Even with Stanley gone, they're still managing to be a really dysfunctional franchise. So yeah, I would expect Neighbors and Odunze to, obviously go a little earlier in the draft. And as for the Bears, kind of think to myself, are they just they're bolstering up that offense for Caleb Williams, get himself some weapons right then and there. So obviously that's another good sign to see. And obviously closing out the video with probably the three biggest quarterback trades of the day. So obviously starting off with Desmond Ridder, coming off in the trade with Atlanta. So he's going to
the Cardinals.
Yeah. So he is going to the Cardinals. I mean, yeah, but like, not really much to say about this.
One for one player swap that you don't really see anymore, but going for Rondell Moore. So I guess I mean, it's a weapon for Kirko. For
Rondell Moore, and Rondell Moore's pretty underrated. I'm not, he's still got a lot of potential. So obviously bolstering up that receiving core for Kirk, that's really gonna make a huge impact there. But Desmond Ridder, I mean, I really don't see him doing anything.
I mean, he's a backup for Kyler, I guess. I mean, the good thing about him, he has experience starting, so I guess you give him that. But moving into, someone that we did expect to be moved after some reports. Sam Howell will be out of Washington. He's heading to, I don't know what his role is going to be. Maybe he'll even be the starter. He's going to Seattle. He's going into a quarterback room with Geno Smith. So honestly, in all reality, I would expect him to start week 1 if we're just looking at it right now. I think he's miles better than Geno. I think Geno's going to end up being the backup, but it's a great move for the Seahawks. Not something I'm really excited to see, and this probably does tell us that I really doubt they'd be going Michael Penix. So a lot of movement that we're seeing as it pertains to our mock draft.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted the Commanders to keep Howell to develop him there, because Howell, I mean,
but they're probably going Drake May now.
Yeah, they're really gonna go Drake May now. So that was probably the move there. They're gonna go quarterback regardless. I don't know what exactly Tom Fuller they're gonna pull if they don't go quarterback, but that's really not gonna happen there. And Sam Howell, yeah, it's really gonna be the battle between him
Well,
and
see
Gino.
this vision. See the vision. Marcus Mariota starts, and you draft Marvin Harrison.
Oh my God, that is definitely one of the visions all time. I've had worse, so I'll give you that one.
We've both had pretty bad.
Yeah, and you're closing out with the final trade. I mean, was the most recent one. Kenny Pickett getting traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for I think 2 7ths, and there's another pick.
2 7ths, and I believe
the 98th, right?
The Eagles moved down to 120, and the Steelers go up to 98. So it's honestly a lot less than I would have expected for Kenny Pickett, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna back up Russell Wilson, but I guess not. I guess just getting more picks to get the use of that, and I guess we could see Kenny Pickett develop under Jalen Hurts. I don't know how a lot of people are gonna feel about that with the Hurts one, especially him with how he was last season. People claiming that one Cinderella season he had 2 years ago, but who knows? Hurts still has a lot of room for improvement. Putting the rivalry to the side, Hurts still has a lot of improvement. He has pretty much a super team around him, so hopefully wish the best for Kenny Pickett, because obviously he wasn't getting it done in Pittsburgh, even with Matt Canada departing.
Yeah, we see the reports were that once they ended up picking up Russ, he kind of just he wanted out. So I mean, I guess you probably would have liked to see him maybe want to fight for his job, but I mean, hey, he doesn't want to be in that culture, and for what it's worth, he's out. He stays in state to the Eagles, and see how his career ends up panning out. And I guess we got some breaking news, so I might as well just throw it in. Van Jefferson going to the Steelers, nothing crazy for me. Obviously, hey, former Ram, hope to see him succeed nonetheless. We traded into the Falcons last season, but I mean, it's a weapon for Russ, and I mean, he does have some experience, playoff experience, won a Super Bowl with us, so all the best for Van Jefferson, and see what he can do with Russ. But of course, that's basically going to wrap us up. We'll see if we get pulled back in for any more news. I mean,
stay tuned for the Diggs video. Stay tuned for the Diggs video.
Diggs to the Rams. Diggs to the Rams.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, but that's going to wrap us up. We'll see what else comes apart from the news videos. We do have a couple more planned up in store, so stick around for that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you like and subscribe, and hope you stick around for all that off-season content.